Live from the Spill Studios located behind a liquor store off the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for a couple of cold.
Again.
Corey and Carla.
Is it that time again?
It's that time again.
Man, that wasn't bad considering that you have a sore throat.
Yeah, actually, that's you'll hear me coughing and talking a little funny through the day. I'm having a rough weekend throat-wise, but you know what? I'm going to muscle through it, and I'm going to do it because I'm a man and I'm a fucking professional.
Oh, shit. In that order?
Yeah, well, I had a long talk with Christian Bale, and he told me to be a fucking professional.
And when he tells you that, you better fucking do it, or he'll fucking kick your ass.
All right, he'll come over here and tear down my lights.
He's did you see the video we put together with him and start to say Samuel Jackson, but him and Mike Tyson and Mel Gibson?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I have to send that to you. It was actually pretty cool. I was looking at it. I was like, man, a lot of people have really lost their minds out in public and got caught.
In the old days, people weren't walking around with cell phone video cameras and with video cameras that you could hold, literally in your pocket. Now we do, and so all this stuff gets caught all the time. So this stuff has always happened. We've always had crazy celebrities. It was just they were always able to keep a handle on it.
Oh, yeah. No, and I thank God for that, too. I mean, if we did not have people walking around with these kind of devices, we would not get such classic lines as "you should just blow." What was that Mel Gibson said? You should just shut up and blow me, or we would not get Mike Tyson saying things like "I'll eat your asshole alive," or we wouldn't get such musical ditties as "da da 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 da" as sung by Christian Bale. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to talk about though, because a lot of people say that, celebrities are still highly regarded by people, and they seem like they're more than human sometimes, which is why it makes it so much more odd when they do go crazy, because people just see them as not doing that. They think that they're the personalities in movies and television. But they say that even though we look at them as these demigods almost, the luster has been taken off somewhat. We see them as flawed people now. That makes them more human, and we just don't see them as the celebrities that they were years ago.
Yeah, it really has. It's also made careers at the same time. I mean, there's nobody would care who Paris Hilton was if she hadn't blowed a dude on video first, and nobody would care about who Kim Kardashian is if she hadn't fucked a dude on video first.
Yeah.
And all these celebutantes and several of these people who have been pushed to the forefront. But then at the same time, if it weren't for these things, we'd still have Michael Richards and Mel Gibson. So
no, and it's a double-edged sword.
I'm not happy with the trade-off myself. I would rather go back to old-style Hollywood where I didn't know where these people are crazy, because frankly, I don't give a shit. I don't go and see a movie because I think somebody's a nice guy. I go and see a movie because I think somebody makes good fucking movies.
I would agree with that to a certain degree. I think that, yeah, I care more about the movies that I see, and I'm able to separate the two. But damn, it sure is funny when these people lose their minds. I mean, they come up with some great shit that just couldn't ever be written for any of their scripts. And I have to say that while I do not like the personalities of Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian or any of those little harpies running around, I have never seen so many hot girls naked before. Ever, I think.
Well, but that's the internet in general.
Yeah, that's it. And thank God for that, because I mean, there was a time when you would just have to really use your imagination, and today it's all out there.
It's all out there. I just saw they did a poll, and apparently, according to the poll, 1/3 of teenage girls admit to having put naked pictures of themselves on the internet in some way, shape, or form, whether sending it to a boyfriend or posting it online or what have you.
Yeah, I usually keep mine around for about a couple of weeks, and until the new crop comes in, I get rid of it. So people don't have to worry about that with me. But yeah, this kind of when these other girls who
I
are
don't even
sitting,
know what that means.
No, but come on, everybody I think is like, if you're a guy and you meet enough girls in today's age, you got girls who send you pictures of something over the internet at some point.
No, you have people who send you. You've got the girls from the site that sends you pictures.
No, whoa, wait a minute now. Let's not put all that out there. People gonna think I'm doing some shit online, like just
you
kind
are
of
doing some shit
just
online.
trolling through Spill.
Everybody knows what you're doing.
Like
Corey.
I'm just
It's
going
no
through
goddamn
Spill,
secret.
asking people to send me naked pictures of themselves, and I do not know that.
Desist from the CIA going, it's top secret. What Corey Coleman is up to really is nobody's business whatsoever.
I do not go through the site and go on
Julian Assange is ready to release the Corey tapes
and
on
approach
WikiLeaks.
girls and tell them, "Lo, new to Spill, are you? Well, you know to stay here. You have to send me a picture of your ass." No, I don't ever do that. Now, if girls have sent me some things before, then hey, what can I say?
I didn't say you were asking for it. I said,
oh. Well, when we put it that way, yeah, I have some.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. See, everybody knows I have a wife, so they're not going to send me shit.
Well, see, that's why I tried to tell you not to say anything. But no, you had to blow it.
No, you know what? I'm fine
go
with
out
that.
there and tell
really,
people.
I don't need those emails. I
That's
don't.
okay.
I have one of those relationships where me and my wife are totally open about our email accounts, and we don't like have. We don't hide that shit.
Well, I'm especially going to send you
in and see these pictures and be, so who's Sofitel 69? I have no idea, honey. It's some girl from it's some girl from the yeah. That's really a conversation.
I'm especially going to send you some of these pictures now, and I'm going to send them to your wife. Oops, nah, man. I
send them to her first. That's different.
Okay, and there'll be naked pictures of Cyrus actually.
Dude, we lived with him. We've seen that. It's not correct. Apparently, he had an accident with a pencil when he was a kid, and there's only one left. It's really creepy. I really don't want to discuss it.
So you can actually connect the dots with the boils on his ass sometimes. If you like. No, I'm kidding. I don't. That's not. No, we're kidding. I hear other girls out there now. Corey Coleman, you're disgusting. Hey, look, I didn't tell anybody to send me anything. Now, if I got some, then hey.
They're just saying it's disgusting because they're like, I sent you pictures and I thought I was the only one.
Well, they ought to know by now, goddammit. And, speaking of celebrities, man, that have sent, well, not sent, but I guess in a way have sent their pictures out there to the whole world. Yeah. What do you think about this whole thing with Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, man?
You know what? Are we really surprised? I
am.
Not about Lawrence Fishburne in particular, but the fact that some celebrity daughter decided to trade in on daddy's name to make some money and piss off daddy. I mean, really? She's no Patty Hearst, man. I mean, when you look in retrospect, that's easy shit. I mean, it's got to suck that Lawrence Fishburne, has to deal with the fact that everybody knows his daughter is, fucking dudes online.
Online, oh man, in front of cameras and distributing that shit through porn companies.
But the thing is that this kind of stuff is happening so much now. At least she's making money doing it and not just didn't get caught on video and it's being passed around for free.
Yeah, I mean, I joke around about girls being nude on the internet and sending their photos out there for everybody to see, but it really has gotten down to the disturbing point that I thought it would get to, because Lawrence Fishburne, you know that this is going to happen with some celebrity's daughter. I mean, they have like,
it was bound to happen.
Yeah, they creep out. And then the girls come out and protest, but that there was going to be a time when some girl was just going to say, "I'm having sex on camera, and I don't give a shit who my father is."
Well, shit, that's Kim Kardashian. I mean, she's the daughter of Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, no, she is, but she tried to stop the tape from coming out.
No, stop!
Yeah.
Don't put it out there. Don't let everybody know that it exists.
Now everybody has everybody has their thoughts that some of these girls put this out there on purpose and they claim that it's accident, but at least they put up the front or the pretension of, all right, I didn't really mean to do this, and by that way, not much, but they try to keep some air of credibility. Now with Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, you never thought like it would. It's always the celebrity that you never would think of. In this case is Lawrence Fishburne. Like, I didn't even know Lawrence Fishburne had a daughter, and
no, not Morpheus.
Oh man, I'm thinking of Cowboy Curtis. I'm like, oh shit, I'll never be able to look at this guy the same way again. You remember him from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Of course I do. I just don't like to think of him as Cowboy Carter. I like to think of him as motherfucking Morpheus.
Hey, Pennywise! I mean, that's the best performance I've ever seen Lawrence Fishburne.
I like to think of those as the dark days of the 80s when you were a black actor and you had to take roles like that. I'm a huge Sam Jackson fan, but there's a whole period of Sam Jackson's history that I just kind of cover my eyes and look away, and it's just kind of like, no, I know you were on Ghost Rider on Nickelodeon. We'll just kind of look away and pretend that didn't happen.
Oh man, there was the point in Samuel Jackson's career where I referred to him as the greasy black man, the greasy, scary black man, because you think he yells everything today. I mean, you remember him in movies like, well, we all remember Jungle Fever, but before that we had things like, what was it? Coming to America. You remember he was the one that robbed the McDougalls or whatever that.
Well, I even remember him from. I mean, that's big time stuff. I remember him from stuff like Death by Temptation.
Oh yeah, I remember that
terrible vampire film with Kadeem Hardison.
Awful fucking movie, man. You know that movie was directed by a black dude named James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't he like James Bond the Third?
The Third, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember him in videos like 911 is a joke. I mean, there was a lot of things where he was just like the scary black man, except for one of those few roles. I think he was in Raw, where he was the uncle that was asking little Eddie Murphy when he was a little boy to come in and tell nasty jokes.
Oh yeah,
tell that joke. You remember that?
Oh hell yeah! No, I'm a huge fan of his work. So I love that stuff. That's why every time people get all up on him about the terrible movies he takes, all you can do is say, dude, look at his career. The guy worked his ass off to do small bit parts in videos and crap movies for like 15 years, and he finally breaks in. Anybody who comes to him with a check and says, we want you to come to work for us because we love what you do, he's going to take the check and he's going to work because that's what he does for a living.
No, you goddamn right about that. I agree with you. I almost said I disagree with you. I'm so used to disagreeing with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, you really are.
But, yeah, and let's hope that Samuel Jackson's daughter doesn't make any porn films, because if she looks anything like him, that's going to be some scary shit. Even though, and I'm not lying to you about this, I wish I could find this video. I would take out the nasty parts and put up the part that I'm talking about. I've seen a video of like an amateur sex party, and there's a woman there that looks just like fucking Samuel Jackson, man. And it is
a woman that looks like Samuel Jackson.
It's a woman that looks like Samuel Jackson. If you want to look at the Samuel Jackson porn tape of his daughter,
why would that excite you in any way, shape, or form?
It wasn't like it was on. Okay, I will tell you. I'll be honest. Every now and then you'll get a guy. I mean, a guy will get a girl, and you'll find this girl who wants to go out and rent porn with her boyfriend. I've gone through that. And we rented this tape where it was because we didn't want to see any of the girls that were like actors or actresses and who all made up to look really fake. So we rented this amateur party, this amateur sex party. And it, on the box, they showed you all the good looking girls at the party, but they didn't show you any of like the ugly people at the party, which
of course they did.
Yeah, who were fucking too. And one of those chicks looked just like Samuel, and I'm not lying, I hate to put it this way because she really did look this way. She looked like Samuel Jackson with buckwheat hair. And the hair it wasn't that bad. It was kind of permed in a way, but it was the weirdest fucking thing. And she was just out there.
Well, Samuel Jackson has had every hairstyle known to man. Which movie version of Samuel Jackson does she look like?
Oh, you know what it is? Oh, Unbreakable.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Yeah, she had unbreakable hair. Fuck, Val, I know it might have been Samuel Jackson in the role of a lifetime right there. Samuel Jackson as the chick who fucks an amateur video. He's done so many other things. Hey, he's a great actor. Why not? But
like I said, if there's a check and they're asking
and this could have been in the early days. Who knows? That could have been an old tape. But man, going back to that Samuel Jackson daughter, going back to Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, man, I really do feel bad for him, and it makes me feel bad for all the girls out there, because what I was leading up to earlier is that she came out and she'd said that I want to be famous, and it worked for Kim Kardashian, and I'm going to do it too. I'm going to have sex in front of a camera, except this time I am not going to protest it. I volunteered to do this. I want to be a porn star, and I want to work in the adult video industry. And it's so sad because she's the daughter of a famous actor. I mean, the guy is still working today. He's still being seen in feature films as well as television. You figure some kind of nepotism could have helped her avoid doing adult movies, but as she says, she loves sex too and she wants to explore it. And that chick is fucking nasty, man. I saw the video of her.
Which one? There's several.
Well, there was one. I went in look,
Baddies and Dimes.
I think it was called.
You laugh. I'm not making that title up.
Are you serious? And what's her name? D Chippy, something like that. Chippy D.
I was reading an article about it where it was, they were like the blogger was amazed at the titles because it led to a great series of gags on the difference between black and white porn. Because black porn, they know how to title their porn. And they title it nonsensical shit that just sounds cool. Baddies and Dimes 15. Right? You look at white porn, and it's white girls taking it up the ass 12. And really great blowjobs performed by blondes. And girls dressed like little girls 4. And they're the most boring titles known to man. You pick up a video, and that video tells you exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, they do.
Kind of like if we titled Inception, "Dudes Walking Around in Dreams." That's how white people title their porn. But black people, it's like Black Cheerleader Party with Dimes 7.
Oh yeah. They put it out there for you. I mean, and I like the way it really is straightforward, like you said.
12.
Oh yeah, they have some called like big black asses. You're getting what you get with that. Hey, I'm getting big black asses. I like one.
I don't know what those asses are gonna do, but that's part of the magical mystery.
One thing I do know is that they're big and they're black. They have a series of videos called Busted Nuts. It's like, okay, I know what.
That's exactly what. That's how you fucking title. Big black dicks, little white girls. Yes, tells me what it does, but it's boring. I want it. I want some pizzazz.
Give
me some of that old black magic.
Man, if I was I wish that I could be like the Martin Luther King of porn, because there's still a lot of racism in porn, because they can get away with that because they can do what's that?
The Martin Luther King of porn.
Yes, I wish I could go in and just take.
I have a cream. Yeah.
That little
one day, blacks and whites and Asians can all have sex together.
The little black asses and little white asses.
Without having to put what color the girls are on the front of the box.
Can fucking harmony. Man, yeah, they
will come on the mountain.
I have a cream. Nice. Hey, I think I'm gonna make that a new video series. Let me write that shit down.
See, there you go. You can call yourself Martin Luther Kings with a Z.
Kings, or a dollar sign at the end.
And call it I Have a Cream.
I Have a Cream. Martin Luther King presents. Man, there was because there was a series of videos called Blacks on Blondes, and it really is
not that I know that. If you put any words together, I assume that they've done it porn wise.
Oh yeah, and it's so true, man.
Done.
Yeah, anything, dogs and blacks, it's been done. They had in this video series, man, is one of the most racist things I've ever seen. I don't even know why black dudes volunteer to do this. They take these little white blonde girls and very petite, and then they get these black guys who are over them, and they ride these girls like animals, and they do things like stretch their mouths and pull their hair, and the whole time they dub over these sounds of these black guys who, they don't make noise like ooh ah, no, they're like and the girls are like so it's like almost like rape. It is almost like a rape fantasy from people who want to see black people who look like animals.
It's Mandingo porn.
It is way past Mandingo porn. I mean, it is like native African deep dark jungle porn.
There's half of me that wants to ask how you know this exists, and then the other half of me that goes, wait, big black men fucking little white girls? Duh.
I was in volumes 1 and 2, but I quickly realized the error of my ways.
Volume 1 and 2. Shit.
But man, this tape of Montana Fishburne, that's her name, who goes by Chippy D.
Oh man, you should have kept Montana.
Yeah, Chippy D. That sounds like either a bad rapper or a cartoon character. Oh no! I don't.
Come on, Hannah Montana Fishburne.
No. I do not want to
think. To file a black girl and a white girl at the same goddamn time.
I would feel like
an Obama daughter.
I feel like a pedophile even putting those two thoughts together. A child's star and like this fucking freakazoid over here. I mean, she is fucking dirty, man. I mean, co-host and I were going to talk about this a couple of days ago. Until like the computer crashed and we typed in her name and right on the front page of Google, and I have to just think that they took this off. They got the videos and there's one video I'm looking at it and I have the video up on my the computer hooked up to my big TV, and he looks on the screen, he's like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, holy shit, that's somebody with the ass wide open. And it's on the front page of
God,
Google.
It was a gape shot.
Yeah. And then I clicked on the video, and it's her. And you know it's her because she has, it looks like somebody put cigarette butts out on her ass. And she describes her ass as, she's like, no, I know I have spots down there. I have like a leopard booty. And it's like, okay, I guess I wouldn't really want to make that.
Red pill, you could get the gaping ass. Take the blue pill, it's the gaping mouth.
Right now, I think Lawrence Fishburne is taking both pills and then some. Don't forget about this shit. Because every picture you see of him, he's like, oh, my fucking daughter. But yeah, man, Jesus Christ.
Daddy's angry, all right.
Yeah, I feel bad. I just think that a lot of girls who are going to look at this and are going to be like, okay, that's the way I'm going to get famous quick. I got to take my clothes off and fuck guys on camera. It really is scary to me, man. It really is frightening to me. So good luck to that dude and and a lot of the celebrity girls to follow. Lock your daughters up, man. So
they raping everybody.
Les Lawrence Fishburne, I'm gonna fire you. Every one of you motherfuckers who watch my daughter's tape. You ain't got to confess. You are so dumb.
DNA.
Yeah, I got your IP address. All that shit. You are so dumb. So man, anyway, you know what? This has been, I guess we're talking so much about this because really there is nothing exciting at all about the top 5 this week.
Top 5, Russell.
Oh, look at you. Caught me off guard with that. Yeah, this is sort of the weekend of the duds. A lot of things were released this weekend and almost all of them came below the top 5. And let's start out with number 5.
Number 5 film.
You know what? Hold on. I was so busy looking at
the number 5 film of the week while we're wasting time while Corey looks it up.
No, I was looking at some more pictures of Chippy D. I accidentally went off the
while he's watching porn and he's stroking himself and he's thinking of you down there.
Can I get you to do the soundtrack for my next porn film and my next beer commercial?
He's doing her now, right up the butt. He's enjoying it. Look, he's gonna come.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I love that. Got soul. All right, man. Number 5 is The Other Guys, still hanging in there. After, being released for 3 weeks, it has brought in this weekend $10.1 million, bringing its total up to $88.2 million. Not bad for a movie that cost $100 million to make. Will Ferrell still bringing them in. And one of our least favorite directors, what's that guy's name? Adam McKay. Yeah. Even though I did he didn't direct that. Never mind. I was gonna say
I can't bag on Adam McKay. I just don't like him. I mean, he people love the shit out of what he does. He makes a certain demographic laugh their asses off time and again, and so God bless him. He does what he needs to do. Yeah. I would take Adam McKay over a pair of other knuckleheads we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And I've talked about that so much, but you know what? I don't mind giving some hate out a little bit more. But before we get to that, let's talk about the number 4 film.
Number 4!
Now, we do have a couple of new entries in the top 5 this week, and this is one of them. Lottery Ticket with Bow Wow. No longer Little Bow Wow, but he's a man now. He's Bow Wow.
He's been Bow Wow for a while.
Yeah, when are we going to be like Big Bow Wow?
I think he's just going to be Bow eventually.
Just take it off and be how about just Wow? Wow. He brought in. Now, if those who doubted the power of Bow Wow are Ice Cube, or Terry Crews, or any other people in this film, They brought in $11.1 million this weekend. The movie cost $17 million to make, so it is respectable business for this film. Probably along the lines of what the company expected this movie to make, with this being a low-budget comedy, especially that aimed towards the urban crowd. So, and Ice Cube always brings people in. I love that Ice Cube is trying new things. He plays an old man in this film.
Well, like he's got much of a choice.
And well, I looked at it, and for a brief moment, I saw him with the makeup on, like the gray beard and hair and all that kind of stuff. I was like, damn, Ice Cube got old. What the fuck happened to him? And I realized, oh, okay, he's playing a part.
Have you ever seen that great picture on online? There was that meme for a while called, where it's like, first I was like, all like, and then I was all like. And they did this great Ice Cube one where Ice Cube is sitting there, and it's a picture of him in the 90s, and he's got the do-rag on, and he's got the AK-47, and he's sitting next to the guy from Cypress Hill, and there's guns and bullets laid out. And then the next picture, and it's like, first I was all like, and then I was all like, and it's him out fishing, smiling in a canoe.
Shit, I don't blame that brother, man. It happens. You know what? Almost every black comedian out there, no matter how dirty you might start, ends up doing some sort of children's entertainment. They know that fucking money is.
But he didn't start as a comedian. Motherfucker started as a gangster shooting people and singing about it.
Yeah, well, I guess if any kind of black man entertainment is going to end up doing that. Shit, we might even see Lawrence Fishburne's daughter end up doing like a children's show one day. The Chippy D show. So, hey, it's just destiny. I can't wait to get my children's show out there.
Let's all peer into the magic asshole, children. What time is it, kids? Butthole Adventure Time.
Yay! Dive on in. Yay! Going down a little shoot and everything. Damn, if Lawrence Fishburne's in his room, he'd fucking kill us both right now. All right, let's go to number 3, which is...
Number 3 film where we'll try to work the word butthole in.
No, I'm going to let you do that. I've filled my quota for today, thank you. I filled my butthole quota for today. Isn't that what they say in prison? Yeah, I filled my butthole quota for the day. What about you, Charlie? Oh, man, number 3 is... what's it? Damn, you got me laughing, so I forgot that chick's name. Julia Roberts is still also bringing...
Yes, pray ass, love ass.
She is still bringing audiences in. And this film, which kind of came out of nowhere, really, but because it was a popular book endorsed by Oprah, it brought in $12 million this weekend. After 2 weeks of being in release, it has brought in $47.1 million. The budget on that is $60 million, so that is also doing respectable business. A lot of stuff not hitting real hard this time of year, but still doing respectable business.
Well, and the problem with Eat, Pray, Love is that the audience that loves the book did not love the movie. So people are going to see it because they feel they have to, but the women aren't madly in love with this interpretation of the film.
I keep hearing that, so I wonder who the audience is that's making this movie so popular right now.
Well, no, it's the women who are like, yeah, I hear it's not that good, but I have to see it anyway because I love the book. Okay. And it is the same phenomenon we see with comic book movies. Like, why did The Punisher do halfway decently? Because despite the fact that it was total ass, and it is total ass. I don't care how many of you guys who watched it when you were 12 or 13 comment in the comment section, shut up, that movie's awesome. No, it fucking sucked balls through a straw, and people were like, yeah, I know it sucks, but I love The Punisher when I was reading comic books, so I'm going to see it anyway. And then they're like, oh yeah, it totally sucked. But it's that kind of phenomenon where people just feel the urge to have to see it.
Well, thank goodness that last Punisher bombed, so, I mean, maybe they'll think about getting that right. I mean, I don't want to even get on the Punisher.
But Marvel finally got the rights back to the Punisher, and they've already said that they're committed to making a real Punisher film.
Yeah, no, they announced that at Comic-Con. They were like, yeah, we got it back, so we're thinking about giving the Punisher the treatment he deserves. So
yeah, the treatment he deserves. You mean never making one again?
Hey man, I love the Punisher so much. I'm all for them trying to get it right this time around. But
this argument so many times.
I know. That's why I was just. But I'm not even talking about even an argument with you. It's just like I'll be talking to Cole sometimes, and just the word Punisher gets brought up, and we could be talking about anything, and then all of a sudden we've derailed into a Punisher discussion. So I'm not going to do it this time. But hey, it's a similar situation. You say that can. I have to say I've never seen an analogy made between something like Eat, Pray, Love and the Punisher. So. Hey,
but I fucking did it.
But you did it. God damn it. Why? Because You are a man and a professional, God damn it.
And I also know that we're on to number 2. It's the number 2 film without Julia Roberts.
And these are two guys that I just fucking despise. And I
Dude,
thought
they went to, let's be thankful they took number 2 and not number 1.
Yeah, that is true, but I'm a little bothered by this because I was looking at how the movie was tracking Monday through Thursday, and the movie was low. I don't know how it got up this high. The movie was down like at number 7 or 8, and then all of a sudden, I can see why, because Friday, that's when the crowd was going to come out and see it, and that weekend crowd did come out to give this movie a little bit of support, which are a lot of teenagers. They just don't fucking know any better. And the movie we're talking about is Vampires Suck, which brought in $12.2 million this weekend. All right, now.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
the thing is that's actually really piss poor now, of course, Vampire Suck is directed by Friedberg and Seltzer, who are our favorite modern day villains. They went away for a while. We were all happy that they were gone, and then out of the blue, they got this thing greenlit because, let's face it, they sold it as a Twilight parody, and everyone's like, "Oh, Twilight money." But this $12 million, it's better than their last one, Disaster Movie, which also premiered in August, but still worse than Meet the Spartans, which did $18 million.
Yeah.
Now, probably profited because they typically make their movies for like $10 million.
This one was made for $20 million. So after the weekend and combined with the Wednesday through Thursday box office gross, it got up to $18.6 million. So these
once
guys
again,
will be back.
Crap.
Yeah, they came in, smashed the window, grabbed the money out the cash register, and took the fuck off. And they will make another one.
At this point, I really don't care anymore. I heard this was coming out, and people are like, "Oh, you're going to review it?" And I was sick of this shit last time when they did Disaster Movie. And these guys are never ever going to make anything that will entertain anyone over the age of 12. Their ideas aren't original. These are the only filmmakers in history that I have bagged on Ain't It Cool, and in turn gotten thank you letters from the cast and crew of the fucking film thanking me for taking it apart so viciously because they were embarrassed to work on the film. People who work on their films are not happy to work on their films. They're just happy to take the paycheck. And I've known people who have tried to get their credits removed from these films because they don't want to be associated with them. They just had to work. So nobody thinks anything of these guys. These guys are going to be around until their movies just simply don't profit anymore. But since they're riding completely off of the success of other people's work, as they did here with Twilight, who knows if that'll ever really happen.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about these guys anymore, man. And you're right. I think the last review that we did, I just made a video that I just showed a clip and I came back and said, fuck you, and then ended it. And I don't know what more I can say about a movie after that they make. It's obvious that we're going to hate every fucking film they do, and unless they just take some total detour off the path of what they've been making and surprise the shit out of everybody by making a great film just because they've amassed all this money, and then they come out and they say, hey, you know what? We knew we were making bad movies, but they made quick money and lots of it, and we were just saving up to actually get a script made that nobody ever wanted to do, and it'll be like the next, I don't know, fucking Matrix or something. But I really doubt that'll happen. So, and speaking of people who didn't want their names in the credits of the film, I think there's one guy that actually got his name removed from the film. What's the name of that guy that was in Office Space? Diedrich Bader. I don't think he's listed. He's from the Drew Carey Show, and I don't think he's listed in the cast of Vampire Suck. And he's in the movie. So yeah.
That's weird because he's had his name on shitty films before.
But not as shitty as this. So
did you see this?
Oh yeah, we saw it. Yeah. No, I saw it, and
you had to pay to see it, didn't you?
Yep. And then you think they're gonna release this for critics to see ahead of time? Hell no. But I have to say this: if there's one thing I can say about the movie, we mentioned this in the review. There's always one or two things in their movies because they are so silly, they're so stupid. There's one thing in there that is so dumb, whether it be by accident or on purpose, that makes me laugh so hard, and I will remember that scene for a long time. And there were a couple of scenes like that in this movie. And this was a little more focused than something like Disaster Movie, where they just try to, they just took a title.
Disaster Movie had the problem that they were trying to remake too many movies at once.
Yeah.
Whereas like Meet the Spartans, it was like, okay, we're just going to go beat by beat from the script, just what they did with when they worked on Scary Movie, where they're like, okay, here's the script to Scream. Let's erase whole bits of dialogue and write in our own jokes.
And that's exactly what they did here. This was more focused than something like Disaster Movie. Disaster Movie just took a title and then they just strung a bunch of references together. This makes fun of Twilight, and it works a little better than the rest of those movies because, look, it's Twilight. It's easy to make fun of. Where they fucking fail is that Twilight is you can listen to people just sit around and make jokes about Twilight in a room drinking beer, and it'll be funnier than some of the jokes they come up here with. I mean, it's amazing.
That's always been their problem. I mean, they've tried to. That's what Disaster Movie was all about. Was, hey, let's make the jokes before the movies are out, or as the movies are out, so that nobody's had a chance to make the jokes yet. And that just totally failed because they just made movies based upon the trailers.
Yeah.
So this time they're back to what they did before, and just doing what I don't want to say worked for them because it didn't work, but it made them money. So
yeah. I mean, what can you say at this point? They will make another because this one's going to turn a profit. And what can you do? What can you do except go on to number one?
The number one film of the week, which is fucking awesome,
is The Expendables. And Expendables was number one this weekend almost by default. It brought in $17 million this weekend. Not bad business, but it also is number one because it's a good time for this movie to be released, being that it has no competition whatsoever. So
I would not say that. It's just the competition isn't doing well.
No, really, a lot of these movies, even the movies that I was looking forward to this weekend, I knew would just not do well because I've seen this happen in movies like this before. We have 4 other films. And by the way, The Expendables is up to $65 million right now.
And God bless it. Although, the downside to this is that it's been so successful, now they're talking sequel.
I told you they were going to make a sequel. But
I was hoping they wouldn't. I was hoping they would have the good sense to let it be the one-off that it was and not continue. But then again, when Rambo did really well, they were talking about a Rambo sequel, and that kept falling apart. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
This one I think will actually have a true sequel. I mean, look, I'm not crazy about the movie. Didn't hate it, but I'm not fond of it, and I am looking forward to a sequel to this to see if they can actually give me the movie that I wanted in the first film. And I think this idea is a little more. It lends itself to a sequel, something better than Rambo. I mean, Rambo kind of told its story. It was, I'm talking about the last Rambo movie. We got to see the comeback of Rambo. They did it successfully, and they should just kind of leave that alone, man. I mean, they should Rambo had one more moment to shine, and everybody thought they were going to mess it up. And they did not. They got it right and just leave it like that. And this right here, I think, they can create a franchise. I mean, at some point, you could even take Stallone out of the movie and replace these characters with action stars. I mean, they got that kind of thing going on, and I think it's a good idea. I just didn't think it was well executed this time around. But yeah, I'm in the minority. People love this fucking movie, man.
Because it's a badass movie. It's not a great film, but it's badass. So let's talk about the other stuff that's come out.
Yeah,
the stuff that it's kind of some of them are kind of depressing that they didn't do better.
Well, we had 2 films that I knew were not going to do well at all, and that was Nanny McPhee Returns and The Switch. And those 2 were movies that I knew weren't going to do well because, well, Nanny McPhee kind of went through the same thing as Dogs and Cats, the Dogs and Cats sequel that just came out recently. Nanny McPhee came out several years after the first one, and it was like, who was really asking for the return of Nanny McPhee right now? Except
those things need to be made quickly because the kids who love the film need to be able to go out and see it as soon as they can. The kids who went and saw Nanny McPhee are older now, and Nanny McPhee is a product of their childhood. And as they're growing up, they're kind of like, oh, I used to watch that when I was a kid. I don't want to watch that.
And plus, people, yeah, they just forgot about it. Yeah, the kids were coming up. Well, it's like this is a sequel to some other film I never saw, whatever. But Nanny McPhee brought in $8.3 million. The budget on that is 35. It might not be a complete failure though, because this is a movie that was released over in the UK first. If I recall correctly, because I remember seeing the posters all around when I was there.
Well, it's UK-based film.
Yeah, exactly. So besides the marketing money that they put into this, like this $35 million, I don't know if that's solely for the U.S. budget alone that includes marketing and distribution, or if that includes the UK budget also. But I don't think that they're going to, if that's the case, that it's not really $35 million for the U.S. budget alone. This movie, it's okay, whatever. It's making its money somewhere else and just probably picked up a little extra change here. The Switch, however, brought in, it was below Nanny McPhee at number 8. Nanny McPhee was at number 7 this week. The Switch brought in $8.1 million. Now, I don't know what the budget is on that, but everybody's been seeing Jennifer Aniston in a string of flops, and they've been seeing her do the same thing. And Jennifer Aniston, I like this movie. I actually like this movie a lot, but if you have seen one trailer of a Jennifer Aniston movie, you've seen them all almost, including this one. And the movie's not doing well among critics either, even though I did enjoy it. So I think people are kind of getting tired of Jennifer Aniston playing the same character that she has been playing, even though she's trying to own up to her age. You know, she's over 40 now. She's playing roles where she is that over 40 person. You know, she's having the crisis that most women do at that time. If they don't have children, should I have them now? Do I want a man? What am I doing with my career? Blah, blah, blah. She's doing all of that. But she really needs to get away from romantic comedies and try something completely different. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what she was kind of tailor-made for, was, you know, that her entire career has revolved around that. I don't know what else she could really do, because at the age that she's gotten to, the only other roles out there for women are, you know, playing the mom.
Yeah, and she's getting to that point where she's probably going to have to do that, which is why I say she needs to be in some sort of drama, or and when I say a drama, she probably needs to be in something that's, if it's a comedy, it probably needs to be a comedy of an independent film sort, or it needs to be.
Well, she's done that too.
Yeah, and she needs to go back and do that. I remember the one that she did a long time ago where she's a grocery clerk. I forgot the name of that film.
The Good Girl.
The Good Girl, yeah, and she was really
that was
good
a good movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie, man, and she was great in it. And I think she's great anyway.
That's one of the few Mike White written films that I really like.
Yeah, and that was directed by the guy that did. You remember this movie called Star Maps?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy, the Hispanic dude, directed that. He directed this movie too. Yeah, it was a.
But he just directed something else recently too.
Yeah, he did, and I cannot remember what it is.
I'm going to look it up right now because I remember that coming up.
But yeah, she needs to do more independent work like that, and she's got power in Hollywood. That's it. What did he direct recently?
Let's see. Youth in Revolt.
That's
what he did, and then he did some TV. Yeah, that's pretty much it's TV, and then he did Youth in Revolt, and that was from the director of The Good Girl. That's why I remember that. He's got another film coming out called Cedar Rapids.
Man, she's got power in Hollywood. I would, if I was her, and look at me like trying to be her her career counselor or something. But I don't know. I've always liked the idea of women who have enough power to like call some shots in Hollywood. When they get to a certain age, they should work behind the camera, try producing, try directing maybe.
Well, she's done that. She and Brad Pitt, when they were together, had a production company together. So she's done producing.
Yeah, she needs to get back into it.
Well, she might be doing it now. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so.
So let's talk about the one film that really should have done better that did.
Number 6 film this week is Piranha 3D, which brought in $10 million. Cost $24 million to make. So it's not terrible business for this movie, but it's not really great. And I knew that this movie, I was thinking it could go either way because so many critics were talking about it. They really put a lot of push behind this. But I've seen these kind of movies falter before, and I thought like it probably would come along these lines if it didn't do better. I actually expected it to do this. And I'm thinking of things like Snakes on a Plane and movies like Eight-Legged Freaks, and what was that other spider, Arachnophobia. It seems like when you try to combine these killer animal movies with comedy and whatnot, people just don't seem to be a big fan of that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. This was great, though. Did you get to see it?
I sure did. I loved it, man.
It's my second favorite 3D movie. It is so much stupid fun. And it's the dumbest thing I've seen all summer. Yes. But it's also the dumbest fun I've had all summer. It's just so stupid. I went and saw it with a midnight crowd at at an Alamo Draft House. Eli Roth was in town for his film, The Last Exorcism, and he appears in the film. So he came and did an impromptu Q&A and told stories because he's good friends with the director, Alexander Aja. And it was just a lot of fun. We were all drinking and having a good time, and I watched it there with my wife, and we just had so much fun. It's so over the top. It does not try to be the original Piranha at all. It says, look, let's go over the top. Let's have fun. As Eli put it, Aja was like, I want to make the guilty pleasure movie. It will be the guiltiest of pleasures. The pleasure will come from the guilt. And he that's what he wanted to make. He wanted to make a film that you knew was not a good film and that you didn't go in to watch a good film. You went in to see 3D titty, blood flying at the screen, and big, stupid, ridiculous monsters tear people apart. And he just filled this lake with blood.
Yeah. There's some movies that know that they're doing a really dumb idea and they relish in that, and that's what I liked about this. That sometimes it got to a point where it was so bad that it was bad, but I had so much fun in this, man. If you can make a dumb movie fun, that's my biggest thing.
Like, what was so bad that it was bad?
Well, Jerry O'Connell, I thought there were points where he was hamming it up so much.
Yeah, but you know what he was doing, right?
Oh yeah, he was doing Joe Francis from Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah, well, everybody fucking that was him just skewering. I thought he was hilarious. They took my penis.
Oh man, that's my penis. No, that's I was about to say he got on my nerves with some of his stuff, but he sold it when he did that line, man. I was like, man, how can you not like this movie after a line like "they took my penis"? And the guy is doing it he's saying that line in the campiest way he knows how, because he's doing it in almost in a Shakespearean tone,
the movie opens and you hear somebody singing the song from Jaws.
Oh yeah,
not the Jaws theme, but a song for Jaws. My wife leans over and goes, Jaws reference, and they're like, just wait. And they close in, and it's Richard Dreyfuss singing the song.
Yeah.
And then he gets eaten by piranhas. And then they're trying to figure out what the piranhas are, so who do they go to? They go to Doc Brown, and out comes Christopher Lloyd in full Doc Brown. It's the last time we've seen it since the Cretaceous era.
I just love the line he does where they say, when do we take care of this? How do we stop them? And he's like, and when should we do this? And he's like, how about yesterday?
Yesterday would have been a good time.
Yeah. No, it's
so awesome.
No, man, I think it's a lot of fun. But like I said, it's one of those movies. It is a hard sell, and it's kind of like Scott Pilgrim. I expected this movie not to do that well, and so who knows, man? Maybe.
But those of you out there listening to this, it is a full price film. It is so worth your money. Go out, see it, but see it with friends. See it late at night. Have a couple beers before you go in. Do it if you live in Austin. Do it upright at the Draft House. Order a bucket of beer and just have a good time, because that's all this is. It is an experience movie, not a movie. So go in, have fun, enjoy the self-referential mess of it, and God, it's stupid fun, but man, do I love the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, no, this is there's about 3 movies that I had a really, really, really just outright good time with, just kind of a carefree good time, and this is one of those films, man. I love this movie. Yeah.
So where did Scott Pilgrim rank this week?
Scott Pilgrim ranked number 10.
Oh.
Yeah, it already opened low. It dropped 52%, man, 52.6%. So yeah, you might as well just write poor Scott Pilgrim off, man. He's dead. He's flatlined now. He's dead and gone. Yeah, brought in. If you want to know what Scott Pilgrim did bring in this weekend, it brought in $5 million, bringing its total up to $21 million. Really, really bad for a $60 million film, and that's after 2 weeks. So, poor Scott Pilgrim. We knew him well.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get into some tweets, emails?
Some tweets, yeah. I got a great one right here.
Oh, man, a juicy one.
That's right. Murderface92 asks, with Vampire Sucks out this weekend, what is your favorite spoof movie from when they were good? Mine is Hot Shots 2. That's what he said. This is easy for me. I think spoof movies are still good. We've got a brilliant director making spoof movies. At least he made 2 before he made Scott Pilgrim. And I'm going to say my favorite spoof movies are Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, those Those are good, but you know what? They work as movies too. And I
but
agree
that's
with you.
so brilliant about them, which is why I think they're my favorite. Like, I mean, if you want to go back to if what you're really talking about is what's your favorite Zucker Brothers film, when the Zuckers were working with Jim Abrams before they all split up.
Mine is Top Secret, man.
Top Secret is up there. Top Secret is tied with me with Kentucky Fried Movie. Kentucky Fried Movie is just fucking genius. In fact, on Reddit this weekend, somebody posted a link to one of those scenes, and that got a bunch of people talking about it. In fact, Kentucky Fried Movie was on my short list for movies I was going to show at the Alamo Drafthouse for my birthday. And that ended up not making it, but they have a print of that, and I'm like, oh, that would be so awesome to watch with a crowd. So there's some just great bits in that. Catholic School Girls in Trouble, Fistful of Yen, which is a remake of the Enter the Dragon. So many great you've seen Kentucky Fried Movie, right?
No, I have not ever seen Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh my God, Corey. Holy shit, you need to see that forthwith, my man. You are going to dig the shit out of that movie. There's one bit in there that will make you piss yourself.
I know the one you're talking about.
Big Jim Slade.
Wait a minute, that's not the one.
Oh, okay. God, Big Jim Slade is so right up your alley.
Oh, man, well, you pulled out the forthwith on me. I got to see this now.
Forthwith, motherfucker.
You know what my favorite spoof movie is? And it's just one of my favorite movies of all time. You tell me if this counts as even as a spoof movie. This is like it's up there, like number 2 film almost. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
You know what? It really, God damn it. You're absolutely right. That's it is a spoof movie. And it is actually my favorite spoof of all time. It's one of my top 10 comedies of all time. But yeah, I feel the same way as you, where it so transcends the genre that you completely forget that it is a spoof. You just think of it as a Monty Python film because their films were just something else entirely. But no, fuck you, man. You just totally destroyed my list. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is not only the best Monty Python film, it's the best spoof of all time. It's better than anything the Zuckers did, and it's better than Edgar Wright. God, they were so fucking good.
Which I agree with you on Edgar Wright, though, man. I mean, that guy,
he's brilliant.
He is, man. That guy, I will kiss his feet, man. He's absolutely one of my favorite directors working out there right now. So, love him. So, got anything else?
Let's see here. Well, here's one that you may enjoy. I don't know how much you know about this, but Uchu786 asks, do you think the Green Lantern movie can lead to a Blackest Night movie, or is a Blackest Night movie not possible like Watchmen?
That is a good question. You know what, I'm going to say no. Because even if they did attempt a story that ties into the Blackest Night's plot, that story brings in so many characters from the DC universe and is such a part of that DC universe, and it's something that fans have had to keep up with, that it wouldn't work as a film. I think that if they tried to do it, they would simplify it and it would resemble that storyline, but it wouldn't be the same thing. So I'm going to say at this moment, no.
Yeah, I think no, but the reason I think no is, in order for Blackest Night to really make sense, you have to introduce all the other cores, and all the other cores, the other Lantern cores, are things that work in a comic book universe that you could never sell in a movie. The idea of having, the Red Lanterns and the Orange Lanterns and the Yellow Lanterns, it's something that's gets too silly when you bring it into real world. I mean, Green Lantern is tough enough as is to do the Space Police. So
yeah, and I'm wondering how they're going to do that. I mean, I really am wondering how they're going to be able to do a Green Lantern movie, because I'm not saying it can't be made. I'm actually looking forward to the film, but it's a ring that could change into anything, or from a green ray, and it's like, I don't know, man, because they were even talking about having Jack Black in the movie because it's the premise seems so comical. So
they did a meeting about that, and it got out that they did a meeting about that, and then everybody involved denied it ever happened.
Yeah. So I compare it to something like, think about if the Avengers got popular and the Hulk got really popular in that series, and then all of a sudden somebody suggested that they do a World War Hulk movie. it's too much a part of that comic universe and doesn't work well as part of the movies because there's just so much history that goes behind what led up to those plots and storylines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it would be interesting. Now I think that they could do that on a straight to DVD video like they did with World War Hulk. So yeah, why not? They just did it with like I just saw the Superman Doomsday video, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, but it works better as I would never say release it as a movie, even though I think that would make a really cool Superman film of some sort if they took elements of that. But anyway, I'm not going to get too sidetracked on this question. It's a good question though.
Here's a great question from Pete Fick. What bothers you more, great films that do horrible at the box office or horrible films that do great at the box office?
Oh man, I never thought of that. That's a good one though.
That's a really good question. I'm going to straight up just say great films that do horrible. Personally, and I know people think this is think very different because of the way we talk and the way we write, but I honestly don't really give a shit when a terrible movie does well. I don't care that people shelled out $12 million this weekend to go see a Friedberg Seltzer film. If that's what they wanted to do with their money, fine. And if they're going to see it, if anyone who says, "Oh, look, that looks funny," and shells out their money for it, fine. Would I rather they put their money towards a really great film and help support great films because if great films make big money, then people want to make more films like it? Yes. So that's what I would prefer, and that's really why that bothers me more. I want to see more films like Scott Pilgrim. I want to see more films like Piranha 3D. I want to see more films like those, and I want those to do really well. And so that kind of depresses me that it doesn't do well. I wanted to see the A-Team do better because I loved the A-Team. I want to see an A-Team sequel, but I probably won't see an A-Team sequel unless it does really well on DVD. So that's what lets me down, is when a really great film does horrible. That's where it's reinforcing the wrong ideas with Hollywood, where Hollywood's like, oh, I guess people don't want good films. I guess they just want shitty films. But when a shitty film does well, nobody sits there and goes, oh, we're going to make more shitty films. No, that doesn't happen. It's just they say, oh, people don't want this kind of film. Clearly, people don't want 70s, 80s gory throwback in 3D, so we're never going to make that again. So that's my position on it.
Yeah, I'm more prone to agree with you, like lean towards seeing a good movie do bad, but I guess it would have to bother me equally on both sides because I can see I can almost see the effects of a shitty movie doing bad, having worse results than a good movie doing well. Because as you were saying, if a bad movie does well, they're going to continue to make those kind of movies. And I'm talking about the movies. Look, it really is. It's subject. I mean, it's subjective the way you approach a film and whether you think it's good or bad. What's a good movie for you might not be a good movie for me. But I'm just going to go and talk about what I think goes into making a film. If you got somebody like Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, or Aaron Friedberg and Jason, whatever the fuck the names are, going to a movie.
Friedberg Seltzer.
Yeah, Friedberg and Seltzer. If you got them going into a movie, and after all these films, you just think that they don't care, and they really do just want to make money, and they do make money. Well, the studio's not going to look at this and say, well, these movies have no integrity at all. We're not going to make any more of these, even though they're making money. No, they're going to be like, we're going to continue to make more of these. Mm-hmm. And so that worries me more than in someone who fails at the box office when they try to make a good movie, because I don't know, at some point maybe those movies could find a second life somewhere. But yeah,
say what you will about Friedberg Seltzer. I mean, I hate the shit out of these guys. I think they're untalented hacks, and I hate that they keep making movies. But they do care about their movies. The people that I have corresponded with that have worked on their films, they legitimately think their movies are funny. They're apparently on set cracking up all day at their jokes, and they're cracking up at the things their actors are doing. So they actually think they're making funny movies. They think that the critics just don't get it. And maybe that's true. Maybe the critics don't get it because they keep somehow making money. But but they do actually care about making funny movies. They just don't have the kind of care, patience, or talent that we see in the opposite end of the spectrum with someone like an Edgar Wright, who really who pains for years. I mean, they worked for years on that film. I talked with his co-writer, who oddly enough, his co-writer on the film, I want to say Mike McCall. Let me double check that real quick, but is one of the Inglourious Bastards. One of the guys who wrote Scott Pilgrim was one of Quentin's Inglourious Bastards. Let me look up his name real quick. Geez, like, man. If you saw him, you'd recognize him and go, "Oh, holy shit!" But yeah, he's
well,
he's
you know, they're the luckiest 13-year-old bastards in the world, then, because you look at that, there's just no effort being put into those jokes.
Mike McCall, that's his
okay.
name.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also sad though when you see a movie that had really tried to do something. I mean, they put thought behind it. They put, as you say, so many years of work just in the script alone.
Yeah, they've been working on it since they worked on the script and film for like 4 or 5 years is how long that project was coming together.
And then they try to take a unique approach to the way the movie is being visually presented, and not just make it pretty, but make it work with the story itself. It's pretty depressing when you see that much effort being done for a movie that nobody wants to go see. And I can only imagine how much it hurts the filmmakers when that occurs. But so yeah, there's points to be made for both sides of that argument as to why they both equally bother me, but I fear more the trend of making more bad movies, really, really, really bad movies, than I do of a movie failing, because that movie that did well, it will. A lot of times those directors, they don't really stop working. They usually move on to something else, and Edgar Wright will move on to something else. And
well, and the thing is that all the studios are looking at that film, and the critics love it, and they love it, and they go, "Wow, this guy's talented. Next time, let's give him a property that doesn't involve video games and a comic book that nobody's ever read."
Yeah,
and I'm saying that as how the studios look at it. I'm not insulting the fans of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
so that's. I'm saying that to all the comic book fans out there that are like, "No, Scott Pilgrim's very popular." It's like, yes, it is, but not as far as studio heads are concerned.
Yeah,
you've got to keep in mind most of these people are 25, 26 years old and don't know dick about anything else going on. So why don't you hit us with your question from this week? Do you have a good one?
Yeah, I do have a good one. I've been eager to ask you this. This comes from Florian, who says, "What do you think will be the future of music videos? Will they just slowly become porn?" I don't know what he means by that. Or will they change directions? And I don't know exactly what he means. He threw me for a loop with that porn comment, but I've been wondering what is going to be the fate of music videos too, especially since we have the internet now, and we have less videos being played on channels that started out playing them. That was their sole thing. MTV doesn't show videos that much anymore. They show programs. So what is I guess let me ask you what I think about this situation and see what you have to say. Do you think that music videos are even going to be relevant in a few years? Do you think that bands who are given the budget to spend on music videos, they usually do it because they want to promote themselves, their album that has just come out, or their big single? And I don't know if the music video is relevant as a good promotion tool anymore. What do you think about that?
I think this is an incredibly relevant question. I think before Friday, I might have agreed with you. But Friday changed everything. Friday was a huge day. Thursday night, almost nobody in this country knew who CeeLo was. If you said lead singer of Gnarls Barkley, people knew who you were talking to.
I was about to say Gnarls Barkley, yeah.
Yeah, but CeeLo, they put a little one of those fun word pop-up videos for his new song, Fuck You. It hit online. All of a sudden, it went viral. It hit Reddit. It hit Dig. Various movie blogs were blogging about it. Everybody was talking about it on Twitter. And by Friday night, everybody was listening to the song over and over again and cannot wait for his new solo album. People are stoked. This one video sold this guy's solo album. People started the one thing that they dropped the ball on was that they didn't have that single ready on iTunes, because everybody went to iTunes to buy that song right away and could not buy the song. And if you also look at what is it, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, is that the name of the band, that their video went viral and made them huge. The future of music video is the viral video. It is making that video or that song that everybody will want to pass around and tweet about and blog about and talk about and sell your album that way. It's not the future. This song is called Fuck You. It's something that would have never gotten played on MTV, will not get radio play unless they make a really cool edited version of it. But it's going to be a huge hit, and it's going to sell his album, which now people know who CeeLo is. That's also going to fuel the success of the next Gnarls Barkley album. The last one underperformed, and I think it was a better album. I don't know if you listened to their last album.
I actually have those two albums. I mean, I used to love CeeLo. Some of us stuck with CeeLo back when he was in Goody Mob. So, I know I've been a big CeeLo fan for a long time, man. And I agree with you completely on what you're saying, because that was going to be my answer, not the CeeLo thing. I was going to bring that up, but
have you listened to that song yet?
No, but I'm going to now.
Oh God, you're gonna lose your mind, dude. It's so your song.
And the thing is, I saw how much he was being like. If you go to Google, you'll get like a certain part of the page where they tell you who's like one of the most popular people being researched right now, and CeeLo's name was up there. And I looked it up and I saw that he did have this song, and I just haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Oh God,
it's so, dude, you're gonna love it. It is classic CeeLo. I mean, it is so, it's that thing that he's been kind of evolving over the last few years. It's very kind of Motowny, and he's got these Temptation guys singing in the background. And there's this great line, oh shit, she's a gold digger. Just thought you should know, nigga. But it's these really smooth Temptation sounding guys, and it's fucking hilarious. But it's so goddamn catchy. Every time
that's cool.
And my wife's been asking me to play it all weekend, and so that is what the future of music video is. It is going to be about selling your album or selling your single on iTunes.
Well, that's what I thought about music videos too, because I have never have I been able to watch the videos that I want to watch then when they started coming online. Because I hate videos where it's just a band singing, or it's a rapper with a bunch of dancers behind them. I'm getting tired of the same old shit. I used to wait for those videos that were really visually striking or had some really great artistic direction, and those were like far and few in between when you were watching them on a music channel. But now I see people who, as you said, not only make a name for themselves by making pretty unique videos out there, but they have the freedom to do it, and they're able to find their audience instead of having to wait for a gatekeeper such as someone like MTV to show their video in some rotation that, like a top 10 countdown, or to put it on a show that they put on at an obscure hour. One of my favorite shows in MTV, and people probably heard me talk about this on Let's Do This, is it was a show called AMP, and they took all the electronic trip hop music and things of that nature, which had really cool looking videos, and they would show it on this show. But they would put that show on like on Sunday nights at 12:30 a.m. and nobody watched it, and because of that, of course, they took it off after a certain period. So,
you know what I think the real future of this is? I think we're going to see a lot more corporate sponsorship of music videos, to where the new Lady Gaga video will be brought to you by Pepsi, and it will open up and go, you'll see a quick 5-second little thing, of not a full 30-second commercial, but a 5-second thing of Pepsi, and then it will go in and play the music video, and you can play that video 20 times if you like, but you're still going to see the Pepsi thing at the ad at the beginning every time. And I think that's how the artists are going to start making their money, now that they can create a direct line to their product without necessarily needing a record company.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people are wondering how money's going to be made online. Well, I think it's obvious now that money's going to be made through advertising. It's just how is that advertising going to be used to make money? I mean, people are not going to be able to depend on the same things, such as banner ads and pre-rolls and stuff like that. They're going to have to use those things still, but use them in more creative ways than they've been used before. More like what we see used on television sometimes. Those banner ads or pop-ups or characters or people who come out and promote these products are going to have to be probably creative about it. And I think I agree with you. You're going to see that. And that gives artists more freedom to do what they do, then great, because I really hated the restraint that a lot of artists had on what they did in their videos because it was pretty much dictated by the record company.
And what you did in your songs. That was a big thing as well. You had to limit what you were talking about in the past, or you couldn't take certain views, whether political or otherwise, because you couldn't get the airplay. And I think now that you're going to see something different. I wonder what would have happened had Pink made that song "Dear Mr. President" in something like that in this era, where it would have instantly gotten passed around and would have become an internet viral hit, as people who really liked it really did pass it around and drove traffic to it, as opposed to just dying because radio stations wouldn't play it during the Bush era.
Oh yeah. And you look at things like, I remember seeing recently an MIA video where it was bloody, it was very political, it had some weird message behind it, even though nobody knew what the fuck she was talking about in the very beginning. But it got a lot of attention, and it was a little mini movie where she didn't even have to be featured in it, and she just made what she wanted to make, and I think that's pretty incredible. But I think I think you're full of shit, and I think I'm full of shit, because Prince said the internet is dead, and hey, if it's Purple Badness said that, then it's got to be true.
Well, it is, and I'm already looking for other work.
So
I wonder if Prince is hiring.
Yeah, you can shine his purple high heel shoes. So, hey,
his
man,
elf shoes.
His elf shoes.
Yeah, because I'm really way off.
Oh man, hey, you know what? It's already over now. We're here. And
all right. Well, before we go, I've
Yes.
got about 4 different questions in here asking about what the fuck is up with Let's Do This. Diasme asks, in fact, am I the only one who thinks it's funny that everyone says Corey needs a break? Then all they want to know is where Let's Do This is.
Well, I think it's funny that people think that I'm actually taking a break, and that's why you don't see some of these podcasts updated, which is the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, listen, it behooves us to get every podcast that we have up on time, on a schedule that people are familiar with. But I just got back from out of town trying to take care of a lot of business. Again, well, I go, hey, listen, I'm going to be going there every 3 weeks now, and because we're trying to get things changed on the site. And it was a lot of things that, look, with anything, I mean, people, we think about how long it takes to do all of these podcasts every week. I mean, at this point in my life, and it's not whining because somebody said, no, these podcasts turn to whine fest. Yeah, we complained one time on a podcast and we're whining. Shut the fuck up. Some people just blow my mind with how one thing makes them blow things out of proportion. But I work 7 days a week now doing this stuff. Every day I'm doing
Now
something.
you're whining again.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
no, man. Jesus Christ.
I work 7 days a week. I wore my ass out on the street to pay the internet bills so that you can watch your reviews. My life sucks.
I know, man.
Hate all this ass that girls send me through the email, and I hate these parties in Amsterdam and flying around to concerts. My life is so tough.
Oh man, I'm gonna turn to porn now. No, man, I look for my tape coming out soon. I do. I mean, whether I go out of town or whether I'm hanging out here, whatever, it's like I'm doing stuff 7 days a week. When you got a schedule like that, if anything gets thrown off, there's going to be a week or two where things are going to not happen when you want them. I mean, even on television and on radio, people, they take vacations and they leave and they rebroadcast reruns of what they do. It's no different here. Now, while I'm not taking a vacation or taking a break, we are trying to get things fixed on the site. A lot of that means I have to go around and meet people and do some adjustments and have to figure out things, especially when they're asking for new things too. And when you're juggling that much stuff, sometimes things have to be put to the side for the better of the whole. So yeah, we missed a couple of weeks, not for lack of trying. Last week we had a lot of movies to go see. Most of those movies had to go be seen at Midnight Films because we didn't get screenings of those. Yeah, we didn't get screenings of hardly anything last week, and we had to post those reviews after we saw the films. So this is something, you're not going to have things updated regularly all the time because it's just a lot of shit to do. And so, and I don't care what anybody says, every site does this. I don't care how regular they update. I mean, if they, we do these like television programs or radio programs. There's shows that get updated. Any website that does a podcast, a regular podcast show, I don't. There's because somebody tried to tell me that Brian, the reason why Brian Brushwood's site is so successful is because he doesn't stop podcasting on certain days, and then they were like, Spill's going downhill. What? Because he missed a podcast in 2 weeks, but going downhill? Fuck you. And the other thing is that Brian Brushwood, I guarantee you that with his schedule, especially when he tours, he does not constantly get Not Safe for Work, his podcast show, up every week. There's been a week or two where he's missed. So give me a fucking break, man. Not that I'm like lashing out or anything, but let's be real about it. Let's be realistic, okay? That's why you didn't have. Oh, and we did try to do a Let's Do This last week, but the computer, I had a hard drive that was almost full, and the disk was slowing everything down, and it just wouldn't record, and we couldn't record. I had to go and clean the hard drive off because we're doing stuff in high definition now, and high definition files take up a lot of space. So we have to clean these disks more regularly than I have ever done before, which is another thing that takes time too. So we'll figure it out, but it's not doom and gloom on the end of the fucking site if something's missed. So stop saying that. All right.
Well then, good night, everybody.
And on that happy note, good night, everybody.